How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. Today I want to talk to you about a couple cryptos that I think will do really well over the coming months and over the coming years. Now, I've talked about my portfolio recently, what I'm heavily invested in, and I think the important thing about today is not listening to the cryptos that I think will do well and what are making big news here today, but looking at the change of some of these traditional finance people, investors, or banks, and how they're changing their outlook on cryptocurrency. And there's a huge shift that is happening. And I think it's crazy because the prices are up today, right? They're up like 5%. But the momentous changes in news and the fundamentals are crazy, and they're not being shown necessarily in the price of crypto. So I'll explain what that means a little bit more here in a minute, but really focus on how people are changing and not look at the individual cryptos that are making huge headlines today. Now, if you guys don't mind hitting the like button and subscribe button, I really do appreciate that. There is a link down there to BlockFi. So I talked about this in my video yesterday. They did get over a large fine from the SEC, but they're still offering crypto services to their clients and giving you up to $250 when you sign up and deposit with the link underneath the video. They also have this 3.5% crypto back card. It's one of the only two credit cards I use, and they are giving an additional $75 when you sign up and use it for the first time. Also, I don't talk about this much, but there is the Patreon underneath the video in case you want to know what I'm buying on a regular basis. I have been buying a lot of stocks. One stock that I've been holding on to, which has been beaten down pretty bad, but it was up a lot today, was CleanSpark. So in case you want to hear more information, I give multiple updates every single trading day. So definitely check that out underneath the video. So the whole market is up today. If you didn't see my video from earlier in the day covering some of the news, I would suggest watching that because it covers a lot of the news, why we're up right now, and some people selling everything for one specific crypto. So I will put that on the ad screen. But there are a lot of cryptos up 4 to 8% today. But one crypto that is outperforming just about everyone is DECENTRALAND. They're up 13.5%. Now, why are they up so darn much? Well, JP Morgan Chase is going to be the first bank into the metaverse, and they're buying a place in DECENTRALAND. Actually, they already opened a lounge in DECENTRALAND. So let's break this down a little bit more, because remember, this is the same company whose CEO said that he'd fire a trader in a second for trading Bitcoin. He even made fun of his own kids for buying Bitcoin. So they opened a lounge in DECENTRALAND. This is going to be the Onyx Lounge. The name refers to the bank's suite of permissioned Ethereum-based services. JP Morgan also released a paper that we're going to look at showing how businesses can find opportunities in the metaverse. They say there's a lot of client interest to learn more about the metaverse. The interesting thing is this is coming from JPM's head of crypto and the metaverse. So I didn't even know that they had a head of crypto. Maybe I announced it at some point or saw it, but I did not remember this. We put together our white paper to help clients cut through the noise and highlight what the current reality is and what needs to be built next in technology, commercial infrastructure, privacy, identity, and the workforce to fully maximize the potential of the metaverse. They say in time, the virtual real estate market could see services such as those in the physical world, including credit, mortgages, and rental agreements. I mean, imagine that. You go into DECENTRALAND to rent a space from someone and you pay a couple $100s a month. That's crazy. They also say another big spend would likely be on advertising. They have a prediction that in-game ad spending is set to reach about $18.4 billion by 2027. Now, it doesn't sound like that's just in the metaverse. They're saying in-game ad spending. Now, I looked at the white paper or the paper that they gave on the opportunity for the metaverse. It's 18 pages. For some reason, I couldn't highlight this, but they say the success of building and scaling in the metaverse is dependent on having a robust and flexible financial ecosystem. I wonder if they're trying to get a piece of this and how they're trying to benefit. Well, they are going to offer enterprise-grade value digital asset infrastructure along with more than a half a decade of experience in Web3 and blockchain crypto. So about the time that they were saying that they'd fire employees, they have that amount of experience. They're going to support onboarding through specialized products with focus on account validation, sanction screening, transaction status, and fraud prevention. They're going to provide robust security and required certifications. They're also going to use their Ethereum virtual machine-based zero gas fees blockchain platform. So they're going to basically try to be the bank of the metaverse. It's kind of interesting. I think you have to be careful about this because this is supposed to be decentralized, unlike Facebook's Meta, right? This is supposed to be something that is away from the powers that be. It's supposed to be not connected with them as much. So you have to be careful if you start using these types of things. But it is interesting to see a company that was totally against crypto, and the CEO still doesn't like crypto. He says that, it can do whatever it wants, but it could go to $1 million, but he's not really interested in it. But it's interesting to see a company like that realizes that they still need to be part of it. So even if the CEO is too old school, they still see a massive opportunity, and they're helping their clients underneath. This sounds kind of like what we heard about KPMG recently. So recently, KPMG started buying Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, Ethereum, and it sounds similar because they're going to help their clients navigate the same thing, just like JP Morgan, right? They buy something in the metaverse. Maybe they're going to help their clients buy different properties in the metaverse. Kind of interesting. Everyone's trying to get a piece, even if they are just not really investing in it as much as they're trying to provide services. We also got news today that Warren Buffett invests $1 billion in Bitcoin-friendly neobank, and he dumps Visa and MasterCard stocks. So this is a filing from yesterday saying that he dumped about $1.8 billion worth of Visa and about $1.3 billion of MasterCard, and he bought about $1 billion of Nubank Class A stock. So this is probably a little bit out of proportion. They just have some crypto exposure. They offer an exchange product, but they haven't really been that invested in cryptocurrency outside of that, at least as far as I can tell. But it is still interesting because Warren Buffett has literally called Bitcoin rat poison squared, and he has said that it does not create anything. So the fact is he's very against cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, but he's still investing in something that has crypto exposure. Now, this is not the only thing that he's invested in that has crypto exposure. A lot of the banks that he has exposure to offer different crypto investments. So it's getting harder and harder to get away from cryptocurrency and investing in something that's related to cryptocurrency. We also had Fidelity, which we know has been mining for a long time, mining and holding Bitcoin, but they launched a Bitcoin ETP in Europe. This is something I covered in the video this morning, but this is a physically backed Bitcoin ETP. I don't know all the ins and outs for what the difference is between ETPs and ETFs, but this is big news, and this is another company that's kind of flipping the script. I mean, they have been much more pro-Bitcoin than other companies, but it's still one more company that's traditional that is getting on the crypto train and is continuing to offer more assets. So a couple of things that could change right now that would really change the script on crypto and could be the next step that pushes Bitcoin up is that they could be not labeled as intangible assets. This is a problem because when they buy Bitcoin now and the price falls and then it recovers, it's still shown as a loss, but if it rises, they can't log gains until they sell. So this is really outdated, and this might change soon with KPMG investing in Bitcoin and Ethereum. Maybe they will help to push change in legislation. Also, one other thing that could happen is we actually get the spot ETF. Those would both be big. So what I was talking about at the beginning of the video, something that I thought would be a very good investment over the coming years, I was talking about the metaverse. There's so many people that are interested in the metaverse. There are going to be a lot of eyes on the metaverse. And after there are easier ways to get into the metaverse and there is more of a use case for it for the normal person, I think the prices will continue to go up. Of course, some of these are being used now, but when you take a look at the valuations divided by how many users they're getting, like DECENTRALAND, it's an insane number per user. But it isn't very easily accessible to the public. If you ask someone how to get into the metaverse, what would they say? They probably would have no idea. But as time goes on, these things sort themselves out. People get more comfortable and understand where to go. And there's more of a draw, right? Right now, there's not much reason to go into Decentraland. It's not like it's that fun or anything like that, which I do have an investment in Decentraland, but I feel like a lot of these top metaverse projects won't be there in a few years. I think that metaverse will continue to grow, but it will have to change. There are going to be certain cryptos that fall out. There are going to be some cryptos that come in, and one safer way to invest in it is to invest in some of the big capped cryptos that have to do with the metaverse. For example, Ethereum being a layer 1. Also Solana. Solana is going to have a lot of games that are going to be built on it in the metaverse and already do have a lot of games because of their high transaction time. So you can make specific bets on metaverses. Like for example, today, DECENTRALAND went up a lot because JP Morgan Chase went into the metaverse and went there. But if you want to go somewhere safer, you can invest in something like Solana, Phantasma, Ethereum. These types of cryptos will do really well too, just with the growing adoption. And if you want to be even safer than that, Bitcoin's going to be around for a very long time. It's in its own asset class, in my opinion, and you can see a lot more companies adopting it than adopting some of these other cryptos. But I still think it's really interesting. I wanted to show this information to you because the fact is people are changing their beliefs and it's happening right in front of our eyes. So if you're invested in crypto, pat yourself on the back, feel good for a second because you are early on. I realize that we're not that early on. We're not going to get 1000Xs, but we're still really early on compared to a lot of the rest of the people in the world. So let me know your thoughts on this underneath the video. What do you think about JP Morgan getting into the metaverse and also Warren Buffett increasing exposure into crypto related companies? Let me know your thoughts on this underneath the video. Again, you can check out the link down below to BlockFi and to Patreon, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.